All right. So welcome everyone to Stretch with the Leader. We have Natasha Green here with us today. Natasha, if you would tell us a little bit about what your role is with Intermountain, and then you can jump into your live well moment, and then you can throw it back to me for the stretch part.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay, Cami?
I can.
Perfect. So good morning, everyone. My name is Natasha Green, and I am the HR Communications Director here at Intermountain. Um, so all of the HR emails that you get about benefits, about good things, about bad things, about mediocre things, about caregiver gift, anything like that, it's coming through me or a member of my team. So if any of you also participated on Yammer before that platform sunsetted, I was also the lucky sap who often responded to comments, so you may have seen my name before. But it is a pleasure being here with you guys today. I don't feel qualified to do this because I am not a beacon of health. I actually probably need to do a little bit better at my health so that I don't die young. Let me flip my display settings really quickly. But I am here to talk to you about one of the Live Well components, about living engaged. So let me first introduce you to Logan. So Logan is an eccentric 3-year-old, 3.5-year-old. He's going to turn 4 in June. He loves Buzz Lightyear. He loves Goofy. He loves his dogs. He loves just about anything. The boy is larger than life, huge personality, big emotions. He looks like my husband, but he acts like his mother. So I know that I'm going to be in for it as he gets older. But Logan was born with a broken heart. So he was born, first of all, he is Utah's biggest baby ever born. He was 14 pounds, 4 ounces, 22 inches long. We didn't know he was going to be that big. I didn't have any health complications. I didn't have gestational diabetes. He was a surprise. Yes, I had a C-section for those of you on the call wondering, oh my gosh. So Logan was born at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. So visitor restrictions were wonky. Everything was wonky. He was my first baby. And after 36 hours, he was diagnosed with 3 heart conditions. He had a coarctation of the aorta. He had an ASD, which is a top hole in his heart. And he had a VSD, which is a bottom hole in his heart. And he was life-flighted to Primary Children's. So he spent 9 days in the NICU at Primaries, and the team up there, if anybody works at Primary Children's that's on this call, you know that it's a place of angels, a place of miracles. The team really didn't know what was going on with Logan because they didn't think his heart was that severe. They ended up doing a CT scan on his heart, which is the 4th image right here, and they did discover that, you know what, his coarctation was a little bit more severe than they thought. So we scheduled him for surgery. He ended up going in for emergency surgery the next day because his kidneys were shutting down. Very traumatic. COVID, again, it's me and my husband. It's my first baby. I don't know what's going on. And after 30 days in the hospital and miracles and great care at Primaries, Logan was able to come home with us. He did have to have a second open heart surgery in 2021 to fix the bottom hole in his heart and to take off a pulmonary band. But since then, his heart's been good. Now, for those who are not familiar with medical trauma of babies being born, they can develop oral aversions, which Logan did, unfortunately, because of all the tubes and all the people and all the things touching his face. He didn't eat, so we got him a feeding tube, and he had a G-tube for a year, ended up taking it out himself on his 2nd birthday. Again, he's a fireball. But finally, in September, so just this past September, we fixed his G-tube hole. It was supposed to close on its own after he pulled it out. It didn't, of course, because why would anything be simple with this child? So we went up to Primaries, and it was the first time that Logan had been back to Primaries since his open heart surgery, since his G-tube surgery. It had been a while, and I was very, very concerned about what my 3-year-old was going to do while he was there in same-day surgery. So he brought along his best friend, Goofy, and away we went to Primaries. Right when we walked in, Logan was loved. He was taken care of. Of course he was. It's primary children's. But a nurse ended up walking in, and she had created Goofy a medical band, something that she then slipped around his neck so that Goofy could accompany Logan back to the surgical room, make sure that he wasn't alone, and they had matching bands. So Logan had on his medical band, Goofy had on his medical band, and it was a moment that mattered to me. This little moment, this nurse didn't have to make this medical band, but she did, and it was beautiful, and we didn't take it off for a week because Logan wouldn't let us, and so, but it mattered. And this isn't the only example of these little moments that matter. At primaries, I watched them put chapstick on his lips when they were cracked. Excuse me. They dressed him up for the 4th of July because I was so sad that my baby wasn't going to be home. I had nurses come and check on my child when I wasn't there and leave me notes on the whiteboard doors to say, he looks great, things are doing well, just checking in. And these little moments mean so much. They meant so much to me. They meant a lot to my husband. And so you may be wondering, how on earth does this have anything to do with Live Well? My challenge to you is that no matter who you are or what you do, I'm in HR communication. I have nothing to do with patients. I don't do anything big and special. I write and I design and I communicate. But I can still do things that matter. I can still be engaged in my work and in my life to make a difference for somebody else, whether that's another caregiver, whether that's a team, and you can do the same. Just remember how much those little moments, those little things that you do matter. And I challenge you that what can you do at work and at home to create these little moments and live a more engaged life. And with that, Cammie, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you so much, Natasha. What a testament to Logan's resilience and his mama's resilience. I think you made a few of us get a little teary-eyed this morning. So thank you for pulling out about those little moments and how they matter today. What a beautiful Live Well moment for us all today. So thank you for sharing that with us, Natasha. We will go ahead and move on to the stretch portion of Stretch with a Leader today. I think I feel a little inspired, and I hope the rest of you do too, by Natasha's message. Okay. Go ahead and hop up. We'll find some space. Had a little movement to our day. Maybe let's take a few deep breaths to start off with today. So take your feet a little wider than hip width apart. We'll just take a big inhale, reach the arms up. And then just a full releasing breath. Let's just do one more of those. Big inhale up. And exhale, release the arms. All right, we're gonna take arms up into goalpost arms. So 90 degrees at the elbows. Go ahead and take a big inhale and just pull your elbows back as you lift your heart forward a little bit. And then we're going to send the left arm towards the sky as the right elbow pulls down towards your hip. And then go ahead and switch sides. Big reach. Just make sure you're not locking out your knees here. Nice big long stretch. Come back to your goalpost arms and then reach forward and palms come together and round through your back. Take a big inhale back to your goalpost arms, and we're going to do that again. This time, lift your right arm up, left elbow down towards your hip, and then switch sides. Big reach and stretch. Back to your goalpost arms, and then reach forward, palms come together, and round through the back. All right, take a big inhale, reach your hands all the way up above your head, and then interlace your fingers and press the backs of your hands, your palms into the back of your head. Okay, maybe just shift the hips a little bit before we settle in again. Okay, we're gonna twist to the left, twisting to the left, and now drop the left elbow down towards the ground. Side stretch while in a twist. Lift the elbow up, come back to the center, and let's do the other side. Twist to your right. Reach the right elbow down, left elbow's lifting, side stretch. And lift the elbow back up, come back to the center. We're gonna do that once more each side. So twist to the left and tilt down towards the ground. Lift back up, come back to the center. Twist to the right and tilt down. And lift the elbow, come back to the center. Go ahead and release the arms and do a few reverse shoulder rolls. Try and relax the neck and the shoulders up just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna switch to our hips for a minute. So go ahead and take your feet really wide and then turn your toes to face out. Okay, toes are facing out here. And now we're just gonna move side to side with the toes pointed out. Of course, always move through your safe range of motion. Just noticing where you feel the stretch at right now. Okay, go ahead and pause on this side for just a moment, just a little longer, and then we'll switch to the other side and hold for just a little bit. Go ahead and come back to the center. Now we're going to turn our toes in, so toes face straight forward. Get them nice and parallel, maybe even in just a little bit. And then we're going to do the same thing. So go ahead and move side to side and notice where you feel the stretch, and if it's changed a little bit, probably still some inner thighs, but probably in a little bit of different spot now. Back and forth a couple more times before we do our hold. Okay, go ahead and hold on this side. Just noticing the stretch. Now see if you can press your weight into the outsides of your feet. So kind of lifting the arches a little bit. See if that changes the stretch at all. Just some micro adjustments. And let's switch sides. And then press your weight into the outsides of your feet. Noticing where you feel the stretch. Go ahead and come back to the center, and we're going to bring our feet in together. Narrow hip width apart. Go ahead and move into a squat position, hands on your thighs, just however you want them. They're just there to support you. And we're going to lengthen our hamstrings just by moving our pelvis. So what we're going to do is lift your sit bones, lift your tailbone until you start to feel your hamstrings lengthen. If you don't feel it much, you can start to straighten your legs out just a little bit and then reverse it. So now tuck the tailbone down and feel your hamstrings. There's probably not much going on in them. So now lift the tailbone again until you feel your hamstrings lengthen. We're just doing a pelvis tilt. And then tilt the tailbone down again. Go ahead and lift your sit bones, straightening out the legs, just not locking them, and let your head release towards the floor and let your arms release towards the floor. And if you want, add a little sway to the hips side to side. See if you can get your lower back to release. Just trying to use some gravity to lengthen out your spine. You can start to release your neck, your shoulders a little more. Take a big breath. And then bend the knees. Use your hands to walk yourself all the way back up to standing, and then just shake the legs out a couple times. All right, take hands out in front, palms together. Send the thumbs back, big inhale. And big exhale, reach through the back. One more of these. And exhale. Go ahead and release the hands. All right, you guys, we are all done with Stretch with a Leader today.